Yo, what is going on, man? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to your Daily Activate, man. I am your host, King Activate from Activate LA, bringing you that. I was gonna say weekly activate, the daily activate, but these are random, as you guys know. Usually I do them in the mornings, but right now it's a little bit late in the evening. It's getting late. I wanted to jump on, say what's up to you guys, and at the same time, man, talk about this whole thing that's going on and in Mexico right now. That there's a lot of expats, and it's all over the news, all over the internet, and people here in the U.S. It's a trip because it depends where they give you the news, right? If they give it to you here in the U.S., they're making it seem like they're deporting like all Americans, right? They're deporting all Americans back to the U.S. For the people that don't know what I'm talking about the whole situation down in Mexico City, and where it's they are protesting. They're protesting against tourists, mainly European Americans. European Americans. So that they go down there and they work and they stay. They have a visa. They stay. It's not a work visa, but they just go as tourists, right? And they go for they work over there. They work as nomads and from the computer. So. But now everything is getting super expensive. Now, this is only taking place. There's other areas in Mexico going on, but the main thing that we're going to focus on location is going to be Mexico City, because most of the YouTubers here in the U.S., they're talking about what's going on there, right? And it's only the white tourists that this is happening to, according to the media. So. The misconception here, what Americans here, YouTubers here are saying, is that they're making it seem like they're deporting, like they want all Americans. Like Mexico now doesn't want tourists. Mexico now is trying to get rid of Americans. Now, they're talking about Americans got to go back to their country, and they need to have documents to work. They need a work visa. They need a work permit. That's what a lot of YouTubers, I'm not going to say all, but a lot of YouTubers here, content creators, I'm seeing that they're pushing. And where is this going on? Once again, this is going on in Mexico City, in the areas, the colonias of, for what I hear, Roma and La Condesa. So these areas, for what I've heard, they've always been like a little bit more expensive, pricey. And FYI, for you guys, Mexico is not trying to we're gonna deport you. Oh, you need documents. Everybody's welcome. Even the president from Mexico, she already talked and said that everybody's welcome. I'm gonna tell you guys what's the but. Right. So, but let's go back to these two areas. This area, the Condesa, and then Colonia Roma. They started renting to expats, or digital nomads, Americans that they work over there, and then they live over there because it's cheaper, and they get paid in dollars. Right. They're like either YouTubers or they're like graphic designers, whatever, and. So what's going on now with those areas, they're becoming very expensive. They're calling it gentrification. It's getting gentrified, and that's what it is. And that's what's been, okay? Because I'm going to talk about whose fault really this is. But I'm going to tell you guys towards the end. But the rent's been going up. The people that rent the houses or lease them, whatever, they don't want to rent or to Mexican people, because it's So the convenience is better to rent to the tourists, expats, because they're gonna pay with dollars. They're gonna pay the more expensive fees. They're gonna be able to make money and rent their places for more. So because of that, like the people that live there, they can't afford to rent. Everything's so expensive. It's gotten so more expensive, for the Mexican people in Mexico. Now for the expats, the digital nomads, it's good price because they got money, you know what I mean, and they got all kinds of nice little coffee shops and all that stuff. So to them it's cool. But what's been going on, and I've been seeing, I don't cover that much like news from Mexico or Latin America, South Central America. I am, but I'm going to cover them on my other channel, Otro Día en Spanglish. It's called Otro Día en Spanglish here on YouTube. So go ahead and make sure you subscribe. And post a link in the comment section, and I'm going to make it a tab towards the end where you guys can go ahead and subscribe, because that's where I'm going to cover like these cases. It's going to be mainly in Spanglish, and also 2 cases from here from everywhere, where they speak Spanish, but from a Spanglish point of view. Anyway, so everything's getting expensive, and I've been seeing in the news that a lot of tourists, a lot of people that have been staying in Mexico, they're starting to mistreat Mexicans. You know what I mean? There's a video of a guy kicking out or fucking chasing away, telling a Mexican musician to get the fuck out of there, but the guy worker that is taking a break, he's eating his lunch, his torta, and just a fucking a tourist, not Mexican, is telling them, yelling at him, you know what I mean? Like he ain't shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like if the white dude was here in the U.S. and the Mexican dude didn't have papers, you know what I mean? But this is happening in Mexico. Now, this is not all over Mexico, okay? So it's different areas. There's other stuff that people are saying, that the Americans now in these areas, the Condesa and Roma, these areas, they want everybody to speak English, and they don't want to speak Spanish. And I know what you guys are gonna say. Well, I'm gonna cover that. Well, you guys, Mexican people are supposed to speak English here. See, now you guys get it. Okay, we'll touch on that. But they're, you know what I mean? They're yelling at people, and they're treating them like shit. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, hey man, like, this is you're a guest here. You are a guest. So I'm gonna touch on the you should, they should speak English over there. I mean, they should speak Spanish in Mexico, and Mexicans should speak here English. I agree. So and let's be honest, not there's a lot of Mexican people here that are speaking Spanish, speaking English. You know what I mean? And of course, if they rarely come over here, they're gonna learn. Yes, we have some people, you know what I mean, that they're maybe old school, or maybe they're just here and they can't afford to go to school because all they got to do is work. But I do agree, if you go to a country, you should, especially if you're living there, you should learn the language, you know what I mean, and the culture. That is that. So that way, now we finish that argument right there. And I'm going right off the bat. I don't have a script, you know what I mean. I'm doing the daily activate, so I'm gonna be maybe rumbling and mumbling here. So bear with me. But and if I miss something, just drop a comment. Let me know in the comment section. Talk about this. You forgot to talk about that. What about this? Let's have a conversation. You know what I mean? Let's not get into it. Get all crazy. Let's I want to do these daily activates so we can talk. We can chat on the comment section. So but okay. So yeah. So all this is going on, man. So there's going protests. They're breaking windows, the businesses in that area. The tourists, the expats are like in their coffee shops or restaurants, and you got people coming in and protesting, getting all aggressive. They're all like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And I would have been surprised too. You know what I mean? I just see a protest and I'm like, "Oh, damn, who are they trying to kick out? Oh, it's me." So okay, so yeah, so I think this is kind of like, you know what I mean, it's organized by the government or somebody, I don't know, because if they're really protesting about like they don't want the expats the nomads, whatever, digital nomads, they would have done the same thing with. There's a lot of Korean people over there that they have businesses, and also too, it came out of the news. See, maybe you guys don't know about this, but it came out of the news. No, not the Koreans. I'm sorry. I apologize. Chinese, that they moved in, and they moved in into a certain location of where it's like a street or like a avenue where they sell. There's nothing but businesses, so clothing. So what the Chinese people have came in, little by little, they've been opening their businesses, and it's not about them opening businesses, this and that. It's more of a like. What's going on, they're paying cash, according to the news, they're paying cash to rent the warehouses, the bodegas, and now they have businesses, and now the small businesses that want to rent the bodegas or spots, they can't sell because they can't rent the bodegas or the spots because they're paid for, and they're paid for what I heard, like not only months but years. So now you got local people trying to open businesses, and they can't.
Because if you realize here, none of the Chinese let you make transfers or let you pay by card. Why? Because it's money laundering.
Even in the treatment, it is the difference. The Chinese are very rude, very despotic.
They have successfully managed to displace Mexican trade to some extent.
But those people come in with very cheap but terrible quality clothes. In a word, it's garbage what they're putting in.
Here, they are offering 300,000 with a 5-year contract, 4 years of which are paid in advance.
Regarding rents and leases, their stall management is superior.
Sadly, our national marketing is depleting rapidly.
How did these people get here? I mean, the owner of the square took us out.
I'm not opposed to the arrival of foreigners such as Chinese, Koreans, and others. We are not racist, but we do acknowledge the competitive landscape.
Disloyal.
There is the corner, there are the Chinese. Here you go into the other little square, there are the Chinese back here, the Chinese and...
Well, this already seems like a Chinese community.
I am not sure how we can halt this expansion, as it is just beginning and will soon flood the area.
Because, you know what I mean? And the owners of these spots, you know what I mean? They rent it to the Chinese people. Nothing against the Chinese people, because they're bringing businesses, but at the same time, they're not letting la raza, you know what I mean, the gente from there make their bread too. So that's the problem. That's a problem when it's like, there's bread for everybody, you know what I mean? Hay para todos. So when you come over here, you just come and you're gonna take over and F everybody. That's a problem. So see, the news is not talking about that. So that's the part where I was like, okay, they're talking about like it's being injustice, you know what I mean? Can't afford this and that. How come they're not talking about the whole Chinese situation? And it's not about the Chinese situation, but it is for what they're trying to push or say. It's about foreigners, right? So, but I'm gonna try to put like little videos here and there between this video. And I'm not sure it's gonna go out today. I might live stream tomorrow, Friday, before this video even makes it out. But it's all good. It's all good, because these daily activates is for us to chop it up, talk, even if it's old news. But so okay, so yeah. Now people are saying now Mexicans feel the way Americans feel, this and that, but you guys gotta remember that a lot of people that are undocumented here, they still pay taxes. So a lot of people will try to ignore or try not to mention, or you kind of skip that little thing, that part where like, okay, people that don't have documents here pay taxes, and they also too help the economy. But I'm not mentioning this to try to justify anything. I'm just like covering here this little spot the same way I'm going to cover now with the ex-nomads, the problem, expats, whatever. What is going on is that they found a loop. This is the thing. This is the part where like the people in Mexico are mad mainly, and they're people here. They're not YouTubers from the US. They're not talking about. They found a loop where they go to Mexico on a vacation tourist visa, if what they say, they come in, and then when it's gonna expire, they go out. They go down to Guatemala for what the news said, and then the following day they come back in, or they go back into Mexico, and then their whole thing renews, right? So, and I'm with you guys from the point of view that you guys are going to say, what you guys are going to say, well, I mean, they're doing it legit, and it's true, they're doing it right. It's not even a loophole. I mean, it's a given. That's the way that the law is, and why not, do it? You're not breaking the law, but at the same time, they know if it's affecting the people, yeah. So, but who has a fault here is, or has the control, should have control to do something, is the government. Because the government knows, and this whole situation of digital nomads, maybe before they were not called digital nomads, they were called something else, right? They've been doing this for a long time, you know what I mean? And at the same time, why not? You're trying to survive. If you can live somewhere where it's nice, at the same time, make your money, you gotta try it. The same way people that are coming over here to this country, they're coming over here because they want to, make money. There's more chances for them to make money, and the money that they make, for it to be, for them to accumulate it, and save up. So I see it from both ways, but here the main person that needs to do something is the government. Is the government, because they're talking about, they don't pay taxes, they don't, the expat or digital nomads, they don't pay taxes. It's like they don't, right? But they are doing it, and I don't even want to call it a loophole, right? Because it's legal. It's legal, right? According to what I read, or what I heard, been seeing on videos and news. So, but so it's that, and at the same time, I mean, because let's be honest too. I mean, maybe the gentrification that the digital nomads or expats is not as bad as the rich people, because that's what the rich people do. Yeah, over there, they don't care about the lower class. You know what I mean? They have the rich area, so that's the part where I'm like, okay, it's kind of hypocrite right there a bit, But at the same time, that's their country, right? So, and so that's what was getting people pissed off over there, right? The loop, in a way, and at the same time, that they can't afford to go in there because now everything's so expensive, and also too that they're tired of the abuse. Got a lot of Americans, white Americans over there. They're abusing the locals, man. You know what I mean? They're trying to treat them like it's 1970 here in the U.S. And it's like, no, like, for one, it's 2025, and then you're not in the U.S. You're in Mexico, their country. And I always tell you guys here in the channel that whenever I tell you guys, whenever you guys go to another country, you guys gotta, for one, find out about the culture, the rules, the do's and don'ts, and respect, because it's a lot of Americans, they don't do that shit. They go, we got streamers going into Asia or other countries acting crazy. You know what I mean? Like that dude, Vitali in the Philippines. And he found out quick. Now he's still in jail. Well, anyway, this video got long. You know what I mean? It was supposed to be a daily activate clip, but yeah. So that's a lot of things that the YouTubers here from the U.S. they're not talking about, and that's that the Mexican people, they're getting abused over there. You know what I mean? And people are getting tired. So at the same time, let me know in the comment section. I told you guys I was going to be all over the place because I'm doing this little daily activate. I'm at the pad now, so let me know in the comment section if you're familiar with this topic. What else do you know? What else did I miss? And be safe out there, man. All right. And don't forget, tomorrow, live stream. We're going to be live streaming around 9:30, Friday. All right. Activate. Peace.